Hi guys, welcome to Malik 034 channel. This is Mallikarjun. In today's session, I'm going to explain you how to install Oracle Home or Oracle binaries using GUI mode. Okay, so I'm using Oracle Enterprise Linux machine on VMware workstation. So currently, I have logged into my Linux box. I will just open my terminal. I'll just verify a couple of things. So I just logged into Linux box and then I'm just checking my host name. Yeah, host name is rag01 and I'm just checking my IP address of this host name 192.168.1.101. Okay, so server is ready, and then I'm going to check whether the Oracle user and the groups are created or not. For that, what I'll do, get etc task wd grep oracle. Yeah, oracle is created, and then oinstall and dba are the two groups for oracle home installation. I'm just verifying those two groups are created or not. Cat etc group grep dba, dba is already available, and I'm just verifying oinstall is available. Okay, so simple way to verify what is your Oracle user ID and group name, primary group name and secondary group name. So just do ID and the username Oracle. So you can see UID is the ID of that Oracle user, and the GID group name is this one, and then group is OInstall. OInstall is the primary group, and then the rest others are DBA again OInstall are again part of the secondary group. So let's start with the installation. So I'll just enable the GUI mode for Oracle users. I'll just log into Oracle, and then I'll just check my where is my software. So to install Oracle binaries or Oracle RDBMS, you first need to download Oracle software. If you don't know how to download Oracle softwares and Oracle patches, please refer my previous video where I briefly explained about how to log into Oracle support site and then search for a particular patch and download, how to download those patch, and also easiest way to download this patch. So I explained in brief. So just go ahead and refer that previous session. So as of now, I already downloaded software and already placed it. I'm just going into that directory. Yeah, I'm currently installing 11.204 Oracle Home. This is my software staging area. This is Linux. I'm going under Linux directory. So under Linux, I already have the patch downloaded and already unzipped. So I have database patch. I have grid patch. Now I'm installing Oracle database binary. So I'll go under database. Under database, all this binary executable, everything is already unzipped. So I'll just go ahead and start with the run installer. Run installer is again shell script where you need to run it to launch the GUI mode. Then you can follow the process. Okay, now it is verifying it. It's certified temp space, pap space, monitor, everything is passed. And yeah, here you go, the GUI screen came up. Okay, so the security update from the mask. So I don't want to subscribe, so I'll just deselect this one and click next. Yeah, I've not given any email ID. I'm fine with that. This is the download software update, so I don't want to update any software, so I'll just click software update, click next. Okay, here it says create and configure database. So I'm just going to create a Oracle Home. I'm not going to create any database. I'll just click this option I'll select the second one, install database software only or Oracle binaries only. Okay, so if you want to upgrade, you just select existing Oracle binaries to the upgrade. I don't want to go for upgrade, I'm just going for a fresh installation, so I'll select the second option, install database software only. So you'll get a three option, the single instance database installation, real application cluster database installation, and rack one node installation. So single installation is for a standalone database. I'm going with single installation. For the real application cluster installation, if you are planning to install the rack database, so go ahead with the rack uh, real application cluster installation. For rack one node, if you want to use high availability, the restart service, even though you are using a standalone single node and you want to go for high availability using the grid software, go ahead with this third option. So third and second I'm not going to do it right now, so I'm going with a single install database installation. Click next. Okay, select language, I'm default English is selected. Click next. Okay, there are three options, enterprise, standard, and standard edition one. So based upon your licensing, you go ahead with that enterprise or standard. So I will go ahead with the enterprise edition and click on this select option and make sure you enable this Oracle label security, or even though if you don't enable it, after installation also manually you can do it and enable it. So as a is a best practice, I'm just enabling it, and you don't need to select Oracle database vault option until you decided to enable the vault option. So just go ahead with the next. uh, and then you need to give the Oracle home. So I have not created Oracle binary Oracle home location. I'm just going to create Oracle home. KDR hyphen t slash 01 app Oracle product 11204 db home 1. I will, okay, permission there. So what I'll do, I will create as a root user. I'm changing the ownership of that view 01. Chmod, sorry, chown, and then I'm giving chmod 777 to u01. Okay, just verifying it u01. Okay, u01 is having some permission. Go on the u01. Okay, app fine, Oracle is fine, product is fine, 724 is fine, db home. Okay, so I'm going to select this particular path. I'm going to install user app Oracle product 11204 db home 1. So I'm going to install in this particular directory. What I'm going to select as user one app Oracle product 11204 db home 1, and then user one app Oracle. I'm going to select user app Oracle as my Oracle base, and this is software location. App or inventory. And when I want to go install, click next. That is perfect. Okay, so go ahead with the default option, DB administrator group as a DB, and then doing performance pre-checks. Yeah, it's doing the pre-checks before proceeding with the installation. Okay, it's doing all the kernel parameters, all the required libraries, all the limits, OS configurations, whatever required for Oracle Home installation. I think it is making sure all fine. If any issue, it will report here. Okay, here you go. So no issues. So all the pre-checks are passed. So make sure you save this response file so that you can use this response file for the cloning or for the exact copy of installation in other server or new directories. It's just for response file. Just saving this 1104 dpm response file and then proceed with the installation. So now it will go with the sequence of steps: prepare, copy file, link libraries, setup, then execute root scripts. So it will take couple of minutes. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll come back. The prepare phase has passed and then now it moved to copying files. It is exactly extracting the files. If I can go to the location. Okay, one more thing. The moment it starts the installation, it will also provides you the installation log location and the log file. You can refer this log file at any time, and then whether any failures or any errors or any warnings. If you go inside this log file, you can get to know. Then I'm just going through here. So yeah, you can see, right? See, all these libraries and binaries executable files all are getting installed here. Yep. And then there's a one more option here. If you click on this details, it will give you what it exactly doing in a short note. See, now currently the extraction is in progress. It is kind of not a uh, detailed instruction. It is just a short summary of whatever happening. The main bullet point it is going to give you. Based upon this, you will get to know what is currently is happening here. And if at all you want to go in detail what exactly it's happening, so you need to go for that particular log file. As I told you, I'll just show you that log file. Go inside u01 app oracle, not u01 app or inventory logs. Very good. This is the installation log file. You can tail this log file also during the installation so that you will monitor it. You can see, right? So in the GUI screen you see only this much, the installation is in progress, but at the log file you see what exactly it is happening in backend. There are lot more information it will give in the log file. So if your installation fails or warnings are errored out, so you always refer this log file and then troubleshoot what was happened and what went wrong. Just close this one moment for a moment. Okay, or else you can keep it aside and you can monitor both. Okay, so there are a lot more things are happening in backend. I already opened the log file and then this detailed window and also this installation window. You just keep monitoring this all what is happening. So there are a lot more things it will do in backend. So giving all the proper permissions, executable rights, and applying the sticky bits, and creating all the linking the libraries. So many things it will do. So once you read the log file, then you will understand more. But for the beginners or for the time being, just watch it and don't be into any sort of conclusion that that's just a backend log file, so you just don't worry about that. So now the copying is done, and then it is linking the library. Linking library is one of the most critical part. So the linking all the binaries and libraries should be successful. If not, then if any failures, that will lead to some performance mis uh, behaving, or the database or the binaries will not properly work, and you will end up with some sort of issues, and it will screw up entire your setup. So make sure your linking libraries should be successful. Yep, it's going on, it's doing a lot more things. And also you can see here in the detailed window, it will give a bullet part what exactly it is doing. See, linking ODI client, linking adapter, linking RDBMS executable, linking Oracle utilities. So the linking, it is going to run the particular command. That command you can be find out in this log file. You can see here, right? So this is kind of first changing the permission, and giving appropriate permission and linking Oracle home. So this is exactly the command it uses to link that Oracle home. Right, so now linking Arman utilities. Yeah, linking Oracle home is done, and then setup files is succeeded, and executing the root files. Okay, so here the executing root files, it will launch. I'll just close this one. Yeah, you can see a lot many things is happening, executing the root files. So well, there are a lot more things. If you go through that log file in details, that will give you a lot of information. Okay, now once the setup is done, it will prompt this, the new window will pop up, and that basically talks about running two root scripts. So run this root script as a root user. So I'm just selecting the first one. Or else I can keep this window as one. I'll take one more window. Because I just wanted to show you what will be happening at the back end parallelly, and also what is the message you will get it once you run it. Okay, here you see, right, changing the permission for this Vora inventory and adding read write permission to the group and Oracle user. Alright, so the first script will do this Vora inventory permission, and the second script, what it says, Oracle owner is Oracle, and Oracle home is this is home location, and then enter the path for local bin directory. User local bin is a local bin directory. I'm just entering here. Okay, what it did, changing DB home or inventory to this local bin directory, and creating Vora tab entries, and entering added to the Oracle. Okay, so that basically creates Vora tab entry, and then whenever you create any database, that entry will be added here. Okay, pretty clear. And then I'll click OK here, and then you see the message here: Oracle installation successfully completed. That's it. So it means you have successfully installed the Oracle. So just to verify that one, you need to do all this, the bash profile setting and all. uh, that will take it as a the video. where we will go ahead with the database installation, and before that we do the pre-installation setup of this bash profile and all. So for now, we'll close the window and then conclude this video. Thank you. Thank you everyone.